So tonight, it is my great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker tonight, and that is Marlie Jolanda. And Marlie and I have known each other for a long, long time, actually. So Marlie used to speak, well, she has spoken for our live events, live being when we're physically out there in person and running them up in Brisbane and the Gold Coast. She's got high energy. She's really knowledgeable particularly in this sort of social media space. She's a coach, and she is passionate about helping entrepreneurs on a mission to stop being the best kept secret. How many people hate talking about themselves, happy to talk about other people? Well, she's going to help you stop keeping yourself a secret. And her sort of specialty is really helping to turn more potential customers into paying clients with meaningful marketing. So we have a background about Marlie. She's from Holland. She started her career in corporate with BMW, and I'm sure she got to drive some of these fast cars around Netherlands there. And that was back in 2007. She was promoted twice in 1.5 years, and she was the first social media manager in the group worldwide. So when she was 24. So, social media was fairly new back then. She claimed the space and took the spot as their very first social media manager. And so we see BMW all over social media and online these days. We've got the woman here that started it all. So she's launched her own, went out on her own in 2016. She's launched various businesses in coaching, presenting, training, and networking for women. She is also the founder of the Secret Sis in Biz Society, and she's got a mission with all that there, and that's to share secrets of success with more than 2 million sisters in business to help them to grow personally and professionally with the win-win-win model. So my great pleasure to welcome Marlie. So let's give her a big hand and welcome her here today.
It's different when it's not live in person, right?
I know, the silent clap.
All right, what I'll do, if that's possible, I'll share my screen. 1, 2, 3. So tell me if you can all see this.
Looking good.
Yeah, cool. All right, so thank you so much for the awesome intro. You're right, Nik, like we've known each other for a while, and back in the days, we used to do live events in person, which we also enjoy doing. So I'm really honored to be back presenting within this awesome community. I really love seeing some familiar faces as well. So what we're going to talk about today is meaningful marketing, and I'll explain a bit more what that actually means later. And the key aim is for us to be able to turn more potential clients into paying customers. So how we want to do that, and now I'd like to see if my beautiful PDF is going to join. Yes. So with our live event, so let's see if everybody is kind of awake. So 3 little questions to see how we're going. So firstly, who's keen to learn something new? So put your hand up or use a thumbs emoji, or all good. Secondly, who's keen to find out what meaningful marketing means and how you can use it in your business? Cool, some hands up there. And the third one is who is really excited to be able to turn more potential customers into paying clients, meaning to earn more money for all the hard work that we do. Anybody keen on that one? In that case, we're in the right Zoom room. That's helpful. So thanks for being here. Also, a little add-on to here. For people rocking up to these kind of events, I would firstly love to congratulate you for making the time to actually do so, because you're already doing more than 85% of business owners out there. So big thumbs up for you. Also, use the little emojis. It's so much fun. Figure them out. I see the hands and the party and the all little. So at the bottom, you see a little button that says emoji. So thumbs and party and all of that. Let's make it happen. Then a little bit about me. So for those of you who have not met me before, my name is Marlie Jolanda. I'm a meaningful marketing and business coach, also the founder of Secret Sis in Biz Society, and we're soon launching the Meaningful Marketing Academy. Now, something you may not know about me is roughly 20 years ago, I was struggling with the suicide of a really dear friend. He was only 19 years old when he took his own life. And we were raised in a small village in the Netherlands, in Holland, where not much ever happens. So I remember feeling shattered when we got that phone call late at night. And when I look back, it was a little bit a wake-up call for me. So I realized that day how short life can be, and that it's truly up to us to make the most of our time on this planet. Then 10 years ago, I kickstarted my career at BMW, as Nik already shared something about that. So I started as an intern, and I managed to get promoted twice in a year and a half to claim the social media manager title before I turned 25. So in a corporate like BMW, that was a little bit of a challenge, because some people may have been in a position for over 10 years and didn't necessarily get promoted. So I was there at the right time. I picked the right topic. And honestly, you gotta ask. So you have to put your hand up, because they offered me a promotion, and I believe it was from intern to junior coordinator to coordinator. And I said, I'll sign if you give me the title manager. And that is how I got my manager title. So it's kind of helpful to be able to ask. However, what I discovered after 2.5 years, I absolutely loved working there. Nik's right, we got to drive awesome cars. I have to admit that I had a lot more of the car driving when I was an intern, because when they start paying you as an employee, they needed you in the office. So we didn't get to play that much with the cars anymore. After 2.5 years, I discovered a wage gap that I did not agree with. And when that couldn't be resolved, I decided to stick to my own promise and find the courage to stand up for myself and go, hey, that's not okay. So when that couldn't be resolved, I remember walking into the office with shaking hands and handing in my resignation letter. Many people ask me, why, how would you do that? Because I had quite a promising career ahead of me, where they wanted to have me run my own department within CRM, so customer relationship management, to be able to handle social media. As previously you would send out a mail, even back in the days, I don't know, like a pigeon back in the days. Then they got email, and then they had Twitter or something like that, meaning you got 24 hours to reply. So when I handed in my resignation, I left on good terms. I got an amazing recommendation letter for them. I decided I really wanted to come back to Australia and pursue my academic career. So I made another tough decision and decided to leave my family and friends on the other side of the world. So this was about 8 years ago, and moved to the other side of the world, literally, which is 22,000 kilometers away, which I have to admit now in COVID is getting harder and harder, because I would like to meet my new little nephew before he talks and walks, and I haven't been able to go back for a while. So left the friends and family, started with zero in my bank account. So I continued helping business owners with marketing and business strategies, and managed to get my permanent residency, I believe it was 2015, on a sponsored visa. And that was a huge milestone for me, because essentially it meant they couldn't kick me out of the country anymore. So that was kind of helpful. And then I had a residency in, I would say, 2 of the most powerful areas in the world, right? So that gave me a little bit of freedom. Then when I got my permanent residency, in 2016, I took the leap, like many of you, to start on my own. Since then, I have to say that I'm quite honored to be able to be quite picky about who I work with, as I'm now self-sufficient and I'm able to work less whilst earning more. And that was the key reason why the majority of us managed to get out of a job. However, during that time, I discovered that there's a massive problem, and that is that the majority of people don't know what they want. So if we don't even know what we want, then how can we expect to step into somebody else's shoes and understand what they want? That is key in getting your marketing right. Essentially, you're entering a conversation that your ideal client is already having in their mind. So many of us, especially small business owners, wearing so many hats, we struggle to get the return on investment that we deserve. So that is the reason why I decided to dedicate my career to be able to help more small business owners on a mission. So people who help their ideal clients with their amazing products and services to improve mentally or physically as a meaningful marketing and business coach. So that is a little bit about me. And as you can see up there, what I'm going to do when I share my presentation is give you quite a bit of tips on why I am saying certain things and also why I'm displaying certain things, because I'm also trained as a professional speaker. And there's quite some powerful techniques that you can use in your marketing, in your presenting, and in your speaking and pitching. Would that be helpful if I share some of those techniques as well? Yeah, cool. Now, this was an interesting thing. So what happened when I went on my own, I wasn't quite sure what to do. I felt I needed some support. So I invested, I would say roughly $30,000 in a company called Authentic Education. Met amazing people like Altwin. We actually did some courses together as well. And I remember going to a seminar and they displayed all these success students going, these people achieved this and all. And I'm looking at that going, I want to be on that screen, which is exactly what they asked. They said, do you want to be on that screen? And I'm going, yes, let's give it my all. And then one day, ta-da, so somebody was in the audience and sent me this picture. So I wasn't even there myself. However, it's really important to get clear on your goals so you can start with the end in mind and work backwards. So the moment be on that screen, invested in the business, took every little step that I needed from then on. Over a period of 3 years, I did the courses twice. I was approached by the company to become a partner as well. So they trained me one-on-one and I managed to get on that screen. So the reason I'm on that screen is because I used one of their presenting techniques, which is called the perfect pitch. And that was the first time that I was selling from stage and we managed to sell for $15,000 in one day. Now, mind you, I was shaking with the little paper in my hand, but went with it anyways, and ta-da, $15,000. So I do recommend you to stick to the certain systems and the tools that we teach you as well. Now, as I mentioned, there's 3 main problems. The reason why it's so important to remember these is that you can reflect where you're at and where in which areas you might want a little bit of support. So the options you have is either to self-educate, and there's a lot of great content out there if you know what you're looking for, or to have somebody teach you, whether that's in a group format, a one-on-one, or outsource it. So definitely we got some options. So the 3 main issues, which is all related to the CCC that I mentioned, or at least we communicated in our promotions, it's around clarity, confidence, and conversion. So the main problem around clarity is that people are not clear on measurable goals. And the reason why I say measurable, if you don't know how much money you'd like to earn, could be per week, per month, whatever it is, but it needs to be measurable. How much money, then we can figure out how many packages or services or products you need to sell and how many clients you need to attract. So the more clear you are on the numbers around your goal, the easier it is for us to track if we are on track or not. Does that make sense? Yeah. Then the second one is around confidence. As you may know, once you know your stuff, Nik is presenting as well. When he has a certain topic that he's excited about, you can feel the energy and you notice the confidence coming across. So once you get more clear on your pitch, your ideal client, how to communicate, how excited you are about your offer, that confidence is going to come through and people notice that. So when we talk about the issue around confidence, if there's any confusion in your customer journey, your ideal client is noticing that you lack confidence in a certain area, and that's when they lose trust. So if we look at what you want to move people through in your customer journey, that's what we call the funnel from know, like, and trust, which means cold leads, warm leads, and hot leads. And at the very bottom, what we call the hot leads area, that is all about credibility and trust. So we want to eliminate any form of confusion so we can keep moving people forwards. I need to start that one. Then the third one is conversion, to convert. So it's a little bit marketing jargon, but essentially that's one of the most important things we'd like to do in business to turn more potential customers into paying clients. And that's how we get paid, right? So the trick is there that if you don't know the exact steps in your business journey, we call that your customer journey, it's difficult for you to track the numbers and optimize anything in between. So what are the exact steps? And you can just write this down either on a piece of paper or on a whiteboard to go from the first point of contact with a potential customer, could be on social media, could be through an introduction. What are the exact steps to turn them into a paying client and receiving money in your bank account? So often when I chat with people, some quite successful, they don't even know those exact steps. But when I speak with people who are super successful, they're very clear on those steps. So that is a key tip we'd like to give you to go get clarity on your customer journey from the first point of contact up to receiving money in your bank account. What are the exact steps? How can you optimize them? I'm going to help you with a few tips around that. Start with a little bit of mindset. As often with us in terms of small business owners, we basically influence the results and our output. So if we don't have the right mindset, we're blocking something with limiting beliefs, or we're not in the right energy, it's hard for us to attract the right clients or bring this across with the energy that we intend to. This famous quote, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So it's really important for us today to reflect on certain things that we're doing, whether it is working for us or it is not working for us, and then consider what the options are for us to work on the things that are not working for us. And I'm happy to give you some tips on what you can do there. So this is around mindset, and your brain is designed to do one thing and one thing only. Does anybody know what that is? It is to keep you alive. So this is much easier when you do it in live, because then people can actually say something and I'm like, I don't have time to check the chat right now, but it's to keep you alive. How does that do that? So the fear of rejection comes all the way back from caveman time to go, right, if I'm thrown out of the cave, I'm going to be eaten by a dinosaur. Now, I haven't seen those around lately, but that is kind of what the brain is still doing. So how is that affecting you in today's day and age? If you're wanting to do anything differently, your brain is going to go, hold up, until today, I did my job. So by repeating every single day until today, I can keep you alive. But if we're going to do things differently, you might get so excited and have a heart attack. So we want to make sure that we nurture the brain enough to feel safe. So that's the key word, which is for us personally to be able to do something differently, whether that's in your business or your life, but also for your clients. So what we consider clarity and eliminating the confusion, all of that is to make sure people feel safe to do business with you. So permission granted. So for today, I'm going to share some of the information you've already heard, which is great because your brain needs to be exposed to things up to 6 times to actually be safe. So when you hear certain things, that's great if you've heard it before, so soak it in. Also, the things that you haven't heard yet, give yourself permission to be open-minded and consider, what can I do with this, and how can I make this work in my business or my life? So I'd love to little thumbs up from everybody if we get some permission to take action today. Cool. Then this is the most important thing you will need in marketing. So often people go, I'm not a marketing expert. You don't have to be a marketing expert. The only thing that we do require from you, at least the people that I work with, the ethical people, is that you care. So if you care, then the tools and the systems can help you do the rest. And I'll show you a little tool later that is going to make it a lot easier for you to consider if your marketing has the impact that you would like it to have. So we'll start with the 5 most expensive marketing mistakes, because ideally you kind of want to learn from other people. So then you don't have to repeat the same mistakes. And I'll throw in a few stories. One of the stories I'd like to share is that when I was partnering with Marley Marisha, and I believe that Nik would know him as well. I may have even met him at an event that you were hosting as well. Great guy, like taught me a lot as well. And one of the things that he was mentioning, so he was running Facebook ads for companies that were chucking millions at their budget. So he learned a lot. And one of them that was that if you share something, whether it's on social media or Facebook advertising, you ideally want to show facial expressions. So the 2 tips on content, find examples like this. This is stock image, to show people with facial expressions, whether it's sad or happy or something that attracts, because that is what makes people stop when they scroll. So you have the attention of a thumb scroll, right? So either facial expressions and videos do really well as well. So that's the reason why I wanted to share this image with you. Number 1, most expensive mistake is when you don't have clarity on your offer. So what do we mean with that? And why does it have to be irresistible? If somebody is presenting their offer to go, yeah, so what I do, it's like, I kind of help people with, it doesn't come across very convincing. So as per the famous and late Zig Ziglar, you need to be more excited about your own offer than anybody else, because if you're not, people kind of look at it going, I can't trust this. So you need to have complete clarity, understanding what it is, how expensive it is, what are the benefits, how can people get it. Any form of confusion needs to be eliminated first for you. Then you would actually practice that. So my tip there is, Write out your pitch, record it, listen to yourself, look at yourself, and repeat it until you're comfortable. So often when we do these little introduction sessions, I can hear the people who've practiced their pitch, and one of them is clearly Altwin. So you can hear when people have presented and pitched more often, and it flows, and people go, I know exactly what you do. So it's definitely helpful to spend a little bit of time on understanding what's your offer. So in case I send somebody to you, I need you to be ready to tell me, this is the amazing offer, and this is why it's the best thing since sliced bread. So there's only two really important things about meaningful marketing. Firstly is an irresistible offer, meaning there needs to be a market for that. Then the second bit is about ideal clients. So the most important choice you'll ever make in business is your decision who you would like to work with. But the moment you decide on your ideal client, it's all about them. It's about what resonates for them. It's about whether they like your website, not necessarily you. So you need to make sure that you put your marketing efforts into reaching them. And if you kind of want to know what they like, the best way that you can do that is create a little focus group of around 6 people that are your ideal client and ask them. Now, about meaningful marketing, the reason it needs to be meaningful is firstly, it needs to be meaningful to you. So you cannot promote. That's why it's something to you. It comes easily for you to talk about this. Number 2, it needs to be meaningful to your ideal client. So the moment you make the decision who you would like to work with and focus on reaching them, let me know if the internet is working because it's saying unstable, but all right, all good. Then what we do there is to make sure that it's meaningful to them as well. So essentially you're marketing all day, every day. You're marketing to the person in the mirror, you're marketing to your friends and family. So marketing is a lot more common in your life, meaning how can you convince either yourself or your friends and family or your ideal clients to do something that you deem good, which would also be selling your products and services. So this is complete clarity on your offer so you can break it down. Then here's an example of a client that once she got that clarity around her, that's how it becomes much easier for you to make quite a bit of money. So in one day, she was able to earn 3.5K just by that clarity, presenting that offer and confidently presenting that, turning that into conversions. Then the second most expensive mistake is not having clarity around your ideal client. So remember, that's the most important decision you ever make in business. So what you want to know about them is where they are, because essentially once you know a bit more about them, you want to be where they are. So in terms of, do you have to be on every social media platform? Most definitely not. We only want to be where they are. So if you're trying to reach an elderly clientele, you probably don't have to be on Snapchat. So that also makes it easier for you to figure out who's my ideal client and what are essentially 3 to 5 platforms where they hang. They like to communicate via WhatsApp, email, in person, LinkedIn, Facebook. Like, you have all these different options, Instagram, TikTok nowadays. Where can you find your ideal client? And that's where you need to be. Then the next tips are, be there consistently with a consistent message. That's the power around branding as well, and having clarity around your pitch, because all of that helps people with trust. When they see you rock up with the same colors and the same messages, they go, this person is well organized. Then the next one, with them, which means what is in it for me. So now we're going to learn how to speak the language of your ideal client. So once you do a little bit of research on them to make sure that you understand what's important to do to them, one of the key tips I'd like to give you there, find out some read, then you can go to the website of the books that actually are promoted, and you can almost copy paste that information, turn it into your own language, clearly, because we don't want to have copyright issues, but they have already done the research on your ideal client, and you can get inspiration to make sure that you learn to speak their language. You know how to use this well, you can even use this at home to make sure that you understand what your friends and family value and communicate in a way that it sounds like it's a huge win for them. It is, clearly. However, you do need to make sure that you understand what is important to them. the difference between where they're at, what their pain points are, and where their what we call future belonging and pleasure is. So I'll show you in a second. It's a numbers game. So a quick story about a friend of mine who has been in business for over 9 years. He actually does door knocking voluntarily. Like, I have no idea if anybody else on the planet would still do that. He does, but here's the story around the numbers game and why it's so important to do the numbers game. He is an aerial photographer, so he rents a helicopter, goes into the sky, and then takes these beautiful photos of property. So he's an aerial photographer. Then he drives to those properties. So essentially, he would knock on around 30 doors, 10 get slammed in his face, 10 are interested, but only 10 actually have time to have a chat with him. Out of those 10, 3 normally buy for approximately $1,000 each. So he still makes roughly $3,000 a day. So if you would know, if I would give you the challenge and I'm going, I'd like you to knock on 10 doors, but I'm already going to tell you that they're going to slam them straight into your face. But I'm going to give you $100 for each door. Would you to knock on these doors? So we want to find out for your business, your lead generation, to go in front of how many doors do you need to be on, how many doors do you need to knock to be able to get to the 3,000 or how much you would like to earn a week, and then increase that by getting better at your lead generation, optimizing your customer journey, because the better you understand your clients, the easier it is to speak their language and make your conversion rate much higher. So we optimize the scripts that you would use to turn a potential customer into a paying client. Number 3, most expensive mistake, not having the confidence around explaining their pain. So this is one Marlon shared with me and I loved it and I wanted to use it much more often. When you can articulate someone's problem better than they can, they automatically and unconsciously solution. So when you would go to a specialist and you would explain a little bit about your symptoms, and then the doctor fills in the rest to go, do you have a ring in your ear? Do you feel cold and warm? Is it only intense in the morning? And you go, yes, 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 yes. This person knows what he's talking about. I am willing to pay you anything to help me get rid of my pain. So that is the same thing you're trying to do with marketing. We focused on the key pain. We initially try to explain it even better than they can understand it. And they look at you going, you're the person I need to work with because you understand my pain and I'm going to pay you whatever I need to pay you to get rid of it. So future belonging. People don't like to sit in the negative too often. So marketing is not very complicated. We want to get people from A to B, right? From their pain to their future belonging, which is their pleasure, their dreams. But we'd like to keep them in future belonging around the time, because if we're talking to them too negative and they kind of feel the pain too much, they get disassociated. But if you initially mention the pain and then talk about what they can achieve and how your product or service can help them get there easier and quicker, that is that we build the marketing around that. Number 4, no conversion because hot offer in front of a cold audience. So that essentially means that you would be on a date and then on the first date, somebody asks you to marry. That's just creepy. I hope that didn't happen to anybody. I would definitely say no. I would go, I'm going to need to get to know you a little bit better. So that is what sometimes happens, that in our marketing attempts, we have not been communicating with people enough. We did not create enough touch points. So we're kind of presenting our offer too early. And the same way that we would go, can you imagine you go to somebody's birthday party, you're not bringing a plate, you're not bringing anything to share, you do eat all their food and you take away the gifts and you drink all the drinks. Do you reckon they're going to invite you? Probably not. So we want to make sure that we apply what we call give, 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 ask, that I'll share you in a sec as well. We don't want to be this from the movie Matilda, when people go, clearly can't trust you. So you're not even selling, you're adding value. How can you add value? You consider the pain of your ideal client and everything around that you can add value. You can give them tips, you can give them advice, you can share tools, whatever you can do to help them with their key questions and their key challenges. So here's one of the secrets that clearly I got really excited about. So in terms of social media, the success formula is give, 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 ask. So we do that in our coaching program slightly different. So we kind of help our clients to go, you want to share something that is educational, and then we go into inspirational, and then we go into asking a question, and then we go into providing your offer. So you want to make sure you add value, but please don't forget to ask for people to do you a favor. So it could be sign up to your lead magnet, take a discount, buy your. Don't forget to ask. If you don't ask, you don't get, right? Then this is the tool that we use, one of my favorite tools, because clearly I would have put this together with all the experience that I got at corporate to make sure that you now have a strategy for the next 52 weeks. So essentially it is your social media and digital strategy sorted for the next 12 months. Then number five fingers, is no conversion, which is the key thing we'd like to achieve, right? More paying clients, because we don't have enough touch points. So in front of you, you see the example of know, like, and trust, which is the funnel that we're talking about. Cold, warm, and hot. So how do we create enough touch points? This is a tool that I've created to have at least 7 to 10. And I'll give you an example of that. When we have been promoting this upcoming webinar, I'm not sure if somebody saw this. This is on Instagram, and I am explaining a pain. So what's the pain? The moment we go into procrastination. So people look at that going, that looks like a lazy cat. That's correct. That's Zoom, and Zoom is not doing anything today. So what does that mean? The moment that we start procrastinating, whilst we should be productive, or we feel that we haven't done enough to turn this marketing into paying clients, that is a pain that people can resonate with. So this is an example as 1-2 touch points. So that's on my Instagram and on Facebook. Then here, as you may have seen some of the similar branding, there have been at least 7 to 10 touch points between Nik Cree and his team and me. You would have been exposed to at least 7 to 10 touch points. And here's the good news. If your clients are further down, actually your potential clients are further down in the funnel, so whether they are already warm, meaning that they're very interested in you already, or hot, either they are ready to do business with you or they have already done business with you, you might only need 1 touch point to get them back in and say, hey, join us for the webinar. So that is something I would really like you to review, to go, when you're offering something, have you created 7 to 10 touch points? So essentially what we're trying to achieve is to make sure you're not the best kept secret, because often the people that I work with, they're amazing at what they do, but they're not necessarily the best at being able to market that. So you could have an amazing website, but if nobody knows where it is or how to get there, it's like planting a flag next to Uluru. So we do want to make sure that you explain what you can help people with, and that you're top of their mind. And that is why we want to have enough touch points, and you being exposed to them often enough, because we have this other thing with the brain. The brain is quite lazy. So what it does, it accesses what we call recent memory. So when you're constantly in front of people, they will think about you first when they need somebody to help them with what you can help them with. Free tools. So everybody likes free tools. So I created one as well. I'll share the link in a sec. So that tool that I just showed you with the 7 to 10 touch points, I'd love to share that with you. However, and this is one of the key things I do, I want people to see, to show action. So shoot me a DM or message me or something like that, and I will send you the link. So I want people to at least put in some effort, because then I know that they're actually really keen to use it. So this is what they taught me when I work with the Authentic Education. People pay for organized knowledge. So a lot of the information is out there for free, but you kind of need to know where to find it, if it's still accurate. For example, on YouTube, not all of it is still up to date. And often I find that it's best to either pay for a certain program or work with certain experts to get the exact information that you need. So if I look, what I prefer is like a one-on-one approach to go, yep, I know there's a lot of information out there, but I'd like somebody to specifically tell me what is relevant for me. So let's review if we are a little bit insane or not. And let's see what we're doing and what is and isn't working for us. So based on those 5 mistakes that I just shared with you, can you quickly put in the chat, and don't overthink this, on number 1, how would you rate yourself? Clarity on irresistible offer, 0 going, I have no idea, 10 going, smashing it, know exactly what I'm doing. So number 1, how would you rate yourself on clarity on a resistible offer? So just type 1/ and then the number that you're giving yourself. 2, clarity on ideal client. So do you know exactly who you're targeting, where they are, what language they're speaking. Number 3, confidence around what we call WIFM, what is in it for me pitch, for you to explain their pain, ideally better than they can. Number 4 is conversion, by presenting the right offer at the right time to the right audience. Number 5 is conversion by having a quick moment to rate yourself on these, what we call key mistakes. But clearly, the flip side to that is once you can fix that, that is something that we're trying to achieve. So let me see. Naomi, thank you. Fred, awesome. 5 to 6, awesome. Love it, love it, love it. The 4.6, that's a very specific number. Great. 3, 7, powerful. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So based on that, now you can reflect on, out of those 5, which is the key one that you might need a little bit of support with, or you might need to improve, right? Now, when we go to the next one, what we're trying to achieve with that, and this is something I'd like to explain in your marketing as well. You want to create the feeling of having all the traffic lights go on green, the feeling that you're going in the right direction. And that is, once again, future belonging, and you want to bring that across in your marketing. We switch between the pain, because if you don't highlight the pain, people will not change anything. So if the pain is not specific enough and doesn't hurt enough, some people stay in an uncomfortable comfort zone their entire life. So unless they're motivated enough and it's safe enough to go, hey, working with you, help me with that, working with you is going to improve my life, they won't make any changes. So you want to give them the, at my hand, let's make it happen. So a little bit about the pitch that I previously used and the techniques that I can share about that. And I'd like to show a few of those. So if you look at this option, how many of you would like to go on holidays whilst I'll do all your marketing and run your business for you? I think Nik and me talked about this, going, we need more experts and then we can go on holidays. Actually, I would go anywhere right now. If they open up whatever bubble, I'll be going there, because I'm looking at this going, oh, maybe still Hayman Island or something like that. So what I can do for you, obviously I can't run all businesses, but I can help you in a specific area. Is it okay? A little bit about that. So what I've created is what we call the Clarity Conference Conversion Session. So I normally do these sessions with clients who have already done my program, which is $5,000. Then we do certain sessions to keep them on track. So what I've created here is to simply dive into those areas of clarity, confidence, and conversions to do a session with me, and I can help you have rated yourself, I would say 6 or less. So if any of those sections are not 10 out of 10 yet, reach out and I might be able to help you with that. So what does that look like? And this is something really important that I would like you to consider as well. And how can you use this in your marketing? You want to be that specific and having such a great idea about who you'd like to work with, that you also kind of want to make sure you don't attract your non-ideal clients. So the people that I don't want to attract is the people that are not ready for the next level in their business or their life, or the know-it-alls, because how can you help somebody who already knows it all? So that's not really helpful either. Also, people who are not willing to invest in themselves. There is a saying, it goes, be your own best client. If you're not ready to invest, whether that's time, money, or energy, you might not be ready yet to take this really seriously. Then people who aren't passionate about helping more people prove mentally or physically. So that's the key area that I focus on. And also people who are unwilling to take responsibility. So when we point our finger at somebody going, it's the world, it's the cat, it's the weather, it's whatever, there's 3 fingers pointing back at us. So it's really important to consider, how can we take responsibility? What do we have for, and how can we make sure we have a positive impact? Then who it is for, entrepreneurs on a mission. So I'm really keen to work with that have bigger plans. We're keen to attract more of the ideal clients, because you'll have a better understanding about these ideal clients as well. Keen to learn about the meaningful marketing method, because it's not quite your traditional marketing. It's a combination of how you feel about what you bring across, and also how that will be communicated in rhythm style for your ideal clients. People who simply want to earn more money with the hard work that they're doing and ready to welcome success, which is also a mindset and a feeling. They're keen to optimize their customer journey, and I'll help with the 7 to 10 touchpoint funnel. And they appreciate to be held accountable. So yes, I can be very nice, but I can also be Dutch and very blunt. And I will tell you when you are not pulling your weight, and we need to make sure that we're going to make some changes there. So you need to be willing to take that in. then this is the thing we're trying to prevent. Because when we have a customer funnel that but I got 3 likes. So we want to make sure it all comes to strategy. A few examples that make a massive difference. So look at this beautiful lady and the outfit she's wearing, right? When I was working with her, we noticed that her ideal client is essentially rich families that would like to get private classes for their kids, because it's really good to have kids bilingual, because their brain essentially takes on information quicker. So then she shifted her focus to now be able to focus on a different clientele, meaning she had to hang out where they hang out. Now, where can you find rich people? Well, normally at events where they have great sponsors, the golf club, you name it. So she started hanging out with a different clientele, and look what happened to this lady. Ta-da! Does she look a little bit different now? So she's hanging out with these awesome people. She actually is now franchising her business model, and she's doing really well with the changes that she made. Then the benefits to do this specific session and to work with me is quite and they've already proven it. My aim is to help you save time, save money, and make more money. And we want to prevent this, that you pull your hair out if you have any hair. Then how does it work? So I only have 5 spots for that. So it's normally 495. The moment that those 5 are gone, it automatically goes up again. I'm only sharing the link in this group. So I normally don't do these sessions at all outside the people that have already gone through my program. So you get access to what we call the Clarity, Confidence, and Conversion Survey, which is essentially the most powerful coaching questions I came across from over 10 years of mentoring and coaching from other people as well. So it's really going to help you get an understanding where you're at, your benchmark, so I can help you get to the next level in all those areas. So then what you do next is you get the link, you book in the deep dive with me. We go through your results and we come up with a 5-step action plan that you walk away with customized tools that I'm going to provide you with, which is normally part of a $5,000 program to make sure you can get to the next stage in clarity, confidence, and conversion. So this man made quite a bit of money. So I'm going, maybe we should listen to the people who have been quite successful in certain areas. I definitely agree with him to go, the best investment you can ever make is in yourself. Offer for now, so it's normally $495. For our group, it's $395. Any confusion? So the link is below and I'll share it in the chat as well. bit.ly/ all capitals MJ _CCC. So that's another way for you to consider, how can you bring something across that you're passionate about, and it would be easy for people to make sure they can get to that offer. Then why am I doing this? So when I was doing certain, I know people have good intentions, but it didn't necessarily work with everybody. So I noticed it was very expensive to find expert support. And sometimes we need a session like this just to get going and get to the next level, which allows us to earn more money, which allows us to invest once again in other experts. If we need that, that might be a little bit more expensive. I noticed that some of the coaches were holding back a bit, so they weren't sharing certain strategies with me or connections or tools, and I wanted to make sure that I could do that for my clients. So I looked at the industry going, what do I not like? And I'm going to change that for myself and my clients. And your wins are my wins. And that's why I'm so particular about the people that I would like to work with, because else you won't attract those kind of people. Here's an example of heaps of client testimonials as well. The reason I want to show this to you, one of the key things I love doing with my clients is giving them heaps of tips on all the things that work for me. So create a little drive, create a bit.ly that you can customize, and share all these awesome testimonials as well. Then here's an example, another tip. Update your LinkedIn, make sure that your branding is aligned, so you see a difference between the old branding and the new branding, and reach out to people. So we're also involved in Rotary. There might be different opportunities for people that you previously worked with. Make sure it's up to date, follow up on people. And you can see an example there of Google reviews and LinkedIn reviews. So I'd like you to check how many reviews do you have and when was the last time you followed up. So a bonus, which I like to do as well, that's because I'm Dutch and I love deals and discounts and special offers. For the first 3 people to sign up, you also get what we call a 15-minute high performance accountability call. So when you've done your session, 2 weeks later, I'm going to check in with you to see where you're at using a form that I use. So normally people pay $100,000 a year to be able to do these kind of calls with him, and I'll take you through that structure. So that's the first 3 people that sign up. Then, as you can see, here's the offer. So I hope that made sense. If you have any questions, reach out. And then we get to the part to say, well, here's how you can reach out. That's a little link tree, which is quite easy for you to build. I have to admit, I prefer you to go to Nik and make sure that he can give you the website with your own personalized link. Because if Linktree one day goes, see you later, or Facebook goes, see you later, you want to have the people on your own platform and in your own database. I'm sharing the link now because I already set it up, but now you 2 links where you can find all the information. You can reach out to get the free tools or the link or to book in or to ask any questions. That is me. I think I should be okay with time. So now up to you guys if you have any questions. I hope that made sense. I know I go 100 miles an hour. So this is a time for you to kind of reflect, to go, what just happened and what kind of questions do you have? Thank you.
Awesome. So any questions there, just unmute yourself and ask, or drop it into chat. Who's got a question?
Marley, I've got one for you. When you talk about touch points, are you talking about personal touch points or computerized ones?
Could be both. So honestly, often it helps to create a mix. So if you have an opportunity to mix the in-person with the with the online, which one do you consider is most powerful?
Personal.
Yes. So when you have an opportunity, grab people in person and then combine it with the follow-up. So if you look at the systems that Nik is using, which is Calendly, and you get automated confirmations of the, so people can see that you have the right systems, it looks very professional, they trust that. So a combination between, for example, meeting somebody at a network event, having the right pitch so people are interested, asking the right question, asking them how to get in touch with them. Some people prefer mobile, other people LinkedIn, you name it. Following up to say, hey, let's have a chat, booking them in. So people book into my system, which means that they're keen enough to take some time to book in a call. So normally I don't do any meetings to go, here's an SMS and let's book in. No, here's my booking link, which means that people are keen to have a chat with you.
Right. And some people prefer video versus text versus audio.
Yeah. And here's the most important thing. Those people, your ideal clients, ask them. It's not about what we prefer, it's about what they prefer. So you can test different things. I had clients do both the written version in an email and the video link. So try, and then that's the great thing about having things online. You can track everything. So you can see how many people clicked on the video or how many people opened the email. So try both, get feedback from your ideal client, track the statistics to see what works for you.
Thank you, Marley.
Anybody else who has a question?
Or even a comment?
Yes, I have something to say. I just want to say, Marley, you're awesome. And having stayed away with Marley, I know that she has quite a rigid morning routine. And I just thought it'd be nice for you to share that, Marley, if you'd like to, about how you keep your energy high and, you know, stay vibrant and on top of your game and, you know, going a million miles an hour. And you always seem to be, you know, balanced in that as well. You know, you don't ever seem stressed to me. You seem like you know, you love your life. And so I just thought maybe if you could share a bit about how you stay healthy and vibrant while running your business.
That's cool. I appreciate that. Thank you. Because indeed, we did a course together and we shared an amazing Airbnb. So we did one of the morning routines together. Full disclosure, I have ups and downs. I have times that I'm at near burnout. Track with my rituals. So normally I would set my alarm anywhere between 5 and 5:30 a.m. I start with meditation. So it's 10 minutes that I listen to. So normally I lay on a spike mat, helps with the blood circulation as well. I'm a high achiever, so when I do something, I would like to do it the best. So then I want to have the best spike mat and the best meditation. And you do a little bit of research to try to find the best which aligns with you, because we're all very different. So always try certain things for yourself as well and figure out what works for you. Then after that, I do a bit of journaling, which the most important thing is gratitude journaling. So before you get out of bed, think about 3 things that you're grateful for. And when you go to bed, do the same. Because when you're in a state of gratitude, gratitude, you attract more of that. Even on your difficult days, it helps to go back to that and make sure that you remember what you're grateful about. Then the next thing I do is exercise, movement. So the movement that we do is mental movement and physical movement. So I love to either go to the beach and listen to a great audiobook or do a hot yoga session, and then make sure that I'm ready to start the day during the work hours, had my shower, had my shake. So there's another specific eating structure that I stay to when I stick on the diet, which is not always, but when I do, and I know exactly what we're going to do that day. So I have an accountability partner, and we send each other our to-do list the night before. So then we know what we're doing the next day. I know what I'm eating. I know when I'm eating. I know when I'm exercising. I know what I'm doing. That makes it easiest to stick to that. But please keep in mind, normally I do the 5-2. I stick to something. On the weekend, I give myself a break, because sometimes you set yourself up for failure. So make sure that you allow yourself some time off as well. Is that helpful?
Yes, thank you. Awesome. Love it. And I totally get it. I'm a high achiever as well. And I tend to go. And then sometimes I just crash. So that well-being part is really crucial, I think, for all business people, because, you know, there's only so much, I think, that you can really do as a high achiever without that downtime. So I think, yeah, that's really important to stress.
And there's more to that, Aldwin, and thank you for sharing that as well, because often when people look at you and me, they go, oh, you're always out there, you're always energetic. Jesus, I have moments that I don't want to see anybody. My favorite is Netflix and chill, and it's literally laying on the couch. I'm not doing anything else. So it's really important to understand we're not always, you know, achieving. We're not always in great energy either. So to be able to also reflect on the feelings that are behind that, right?
Yes, excellent.
I hope that makes sense. There was one thing I wanted to reply on. Con is saying LinkedIn is the most underrated platform. I agree, and I have to admit that I doing a little bit more on LinkedIn now and got quite a few bookings out of that. So I agree that if you're not using LinkedIn properly yet, have a chat with Con, because I think you need to update your LinkedIn.
Awesome. Excellent. Yeah, actually, LinkedIn is one of those platforms that is underrated for me, because I don't use it enough. But everybody that tells me, you know, that is really using it, says that it's one of the best platforms that they can that they use. And it's what someone said to me. It was like, it's where Facebook was back in 2013 in terms of reach and all that sort of thing. So if you're finding you're struggling with reach on some of those other platforms, LinkedIn has got way more reach. But anyway, I think Cons probably knows a lot more about that than I do. Awesome.
That's for another presentation, right? We can have an expert to make sure that we learn about LinkedIn then.
Indeed. Well, thanks very much, Marley. That was awesome as ever. I've been taking notes as well too, so you can never learn too much, and there's always something, and there's always sort of a gem in there to learn and take away. And as ever, it's not about being here tonight and listening to it and going away inspired. It's all about the action that you take. So even if you just do one thing that you can implement in your business tonight or tomorrow, that's what really counts. Because if we did one thing a week, that's 52 things we've done a year, and that's probably 52 things more than most people do in their lives and businesses. So thanks, Marley. Now you've got a prize tonight as well for the prize draw, haven't you? Do you want to tell us about that?
So the offer that I just presented, there is one that I'm going to give away, and then we still got those spots left. So if you miss out, grab one of those, because it's definitely worth it. I think I already did something similar with Jane, so she could also give you some feedback on that. So a one-on-one clarity, confidence and conversion session with me. Who's keen to win that?
Me.
Put in your name.
All right, so we do have a special way of drawing this. So we have our wheel of names. And
Nik, did you put in your name?
Oh, my name never goes in here.
You have to put it in, because people who host the events, like, you deserve to win too. I do it with my events now too. What the hell?
I do? Oh, right. I thought I can never put my name in. There we go.
Please do. I'm giving you full permission. Is everybody giving Nik permission? He hosts this all. Without him, we wouldn't have any gifts.
Yes.
All right, my name's in now. I'm going to be really embarrassed if I win this. All right, well, let's spin the wheel and see who's our lucky winner.
I'm not seeing the wheel.
We're seeing a blank screen there, Nik.
Yeah.
Yeah, no wheel.
I'm not seeing wheel.
What happened to it?
From a clean canvas.
Maybe try again, reshare.
All right, let's try that. What's happened to my share here? Okay,
You've been
stop
borrowing
share.
my technical skills, Nick.
Yes, thank you very much. All right, let's try not the whiteboard and let's actually go for the wheel of names this time.
And good on everybody for staying, because I see that we still got everybody here. Well done.
All
I
right.
didn't scare anybody away.
Now, can you see the wheel of names this time?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, let's try it again. And coming through. Oh.
Yay! Yeah, I'm keen to do that one with you, Nick. I think you would really like it. It would be very beneficial.
There we go. I win it. See, how serendipitous is that, eh? First time my
Don't
name
worry,
goes
they
in,
got
I
a
get to win
special
it.
offer. They can grab the 395. So I'll put the links in the chat so people can grab the special offer.
Means you need it for something, Nick.
I obviously do, yes. Thank you.
You deserve it, Nick.
Totally deserved. They take it. Totally deserved.
I'm going to take it. It's like that. This has been grateful for everything that happened. So there you go. All right. So we do have another prize as well. I'm looking forward to catching up with you, Marley. Do have another prize as well. And that's from Aldrin, our media queen. So tell us what that is, Aldrin.
Yes, thank you, Nick. I have 2 tickets, actually, 2 prizes to give away to my free Publicity Secrets Masterclass tomorrow night, where I show you my 7 awesome steps to gain free publicity. And I will reveal also some amazing media platforms where there is no censorship of information as well, that a lot of people don't know about. So it's very exciting. Tomorrow night, 6 till 10 p.m. that is on, and it's valued at $97 each.
Awesome. And I know some people here have already done Aldrin's thing and rave about it as well too. Who's actually been on one of Aldrin's programs? Yes. Yep. So yeah, lots of nods here. Highly worthwhile. All right, let's spin the wheel here and let's see who our lucky winner is for tomorrow. And that would be Ian Minns.
Congratulations. So just
There we
reach
go.
out, send me a PM or pop your email in the chat, and I can get you the Zoom link. And anyone who's attended before too, you're welcome to come back for free. This is something I do with my events, is that once people have visited, if it's an online event, you're welcome to come back as a free guest as well. So for anyone else who wants to revisit tomorrow night.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Aldrin.
So just reach out.
Perfect. And yeah, you can reach out by chat. So there is the chat there. You can have a private message to Aldrin. Otherwise, you can reach out to her by email or on her website, which is aaexpose.com.
Yeah, aaexpose.com. I have 2 tickets to give away, Nick, so we can do one
Oh,
more.
you got 2? Oh,
Yep.
geez,
One more.
I'm a
more
bit
lucky
quick
winner.
here. Hang on, let's get back to the wheel here. All right. All right, one more to go, and let's spin the wheel again. Boom, and that is Shari Ware.
Shari, congratulations. I know Shari's attended. You can gift
Yeah,
that,
do you want to
Shari.
redraw it again?
Yeah, we can gift that, redraw if you like, and I'm happy to offer you a media strategy session instead if you like.
Thank you.
Okay,
All
cool.
righty. So here we go. The wheel is going again, ticking around. And this time it would be Naomi. Are you here, Naomi? Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yay. Well done. I see you tomorrow. Great.
Fantastic. All right. Well, maybe if you just drop a note to Aldrin there and you can connect and she'll give you all the details as to where it all is. In fact, where is it, Aldrin? How do they register if they want to come on?
It's going to be
anyway?
on Zoom. Well, I
On
have
Zoom.
freeprsecrets.com is the page with all the details, which I can pop in there now. But for
Wait,
anyone
Mama,
who's
you're
won,
off the door now.
for anyone who's won a ticket, just reach out to me on my link tree. Just go. I'll just put my personal Facebook link in there for my main profile. That's the page which has got all the details about the event, and then my main Facebook profile. Oh, I don't know what's happening there. Oh, here we go. I've got my Facebook where I was like, where's that coming from? It was Facebook running in the background. Okay.
There you go.
So
All right. Well, if you just drop it into chat
I'll pop
there
that,
and then
I'll pop that in there.
grab it. For those that have, remember the chat, you can save it with those 3 little dots down the bottom of chat. So don't save it just yet. We're going to drop another couple of links. Tonight's session will be on YouTube tomorrow. So if there was bits that you missed or parts you want to see again, go to the Smash Go YouTube channel. The link is in chat. Go and subscribe and hit the bell, and as soon as it's uploaded, you'll get a notification that it's up there on YouTube. We'll be back here same time next week as well with another speaker. But for now, let's give a huge round of applause for Marlie for sharing all of her wisdom tonight. Thanks, Marlie.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. All right. And thanks everyone for coming along tonight. Go and have a fabulous week. And I look forward to seeing you back here next week or online. Or if you've got anything to chat about or you want to share an app with me, just go and join Business Owners Smashing It Online on Facebook. And I'm happy to chat with you there. All right. Go and have a great evening, and we will see you all again.